Hello, happy Friday to you. It is Brandon Devnich here from i3dTHEMES. I hope you've had a fantastic week. You know, last week we were talking about how productive last week was, and this was the complete opposite. It was the yin to the yang. Last weekend my family got caught with the dreaded winter flu that's been hitting everybody here, and while everybody had bounced back in my family by Monday, more or less, that's when I got it. So I was down for the count until pretty much Thursday. So I was having to recover. And in the meantime, Colin, luckily, was able to handle all the support and the telephone calls and the chats and still do some development while I was just being a big baby, hanging out on the couch, basically. So anyways, that's more or less my week. But Colin was working on his development, and he's told me that he has his first article ready to go live coming up next Tuesday, so look for that. That's his article, his design series, UI and UX, that he's been working on for some time, and so we're going to be releasing the first one next week, which is really awesome. He's also informed me that starting pretty much now, we are now booking our smaller jobs, any small requests, some new small projects that come in. They're going to be booked into May and possibly even June, just because of how much large projects that he's got going on. So if you have small projects, that they may be pushed back to May or June. If you have any new requests, if you have larger projects, certainly we can see what the queue is like for you as well. But that's what's been going on with him there this week. And while I was flat on my back just watching Netflix, you know, for the first half of the week, you know, it's like a mini vacation, but not really. You know, I was thinking about the development and the progress of the Accelerator WordPress plugin, which we're going to start development here probably in the next week and a half. Once we've done and finished up the Accelerator website plugin, we're just nearly there. We just have a few small tweaks to do, probably just next week, and we'll be all done. So we were thinking about, you know, in my head, you know, how is this going to progress? Because it's been a while since we've done a WordPress plugin. What we'd really like to know from you, if you use WordPress, what are your favorite WordPress plugins? Are there any that just tickle your fancy, if you know what I mean? No, are there any that just really perform great? They do exactly what they need to do, and they do it well. Because there's lots of, you know, WordPress plugins out there that are meh. Okay, they do what they need to do, but are there any that execute really, really well what they do? Do they have great usability? You know, there's tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of WordPress plugins out there, and most of them are, you know, but I know that there are some that are fantastic. And so we'd love to know from you, if you've used any that have been fantastic, we'd like to see what those examples are, so that when we go to develop our WordPress plugin for Accelerator, you know, we've got some good guidelines, you know, so because our aim is to make a fantastic WordPress plugin. Anyway, so if you have any that you've used, just put them in the comment fields. Tell us what it might be called, and maybe what it does, and what you really like about it, and we'd be happy to go investigate. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me. Next week we'll be a little bit more engaged. We kind of let things slide here this week because, well, you know, it was just me on the couch watching Netflix for half the week, taking it easy. So I hope you had a much better week than I did, and we hope you have a really great weekend coming up here, and we'll talk to you again next week. Thanks so much for joining me.